And welcome to A Future We Create. I am the producer. That's right, I'm the producer, first-time producer. And I am delighted you are all here. This one-night event is part of a biannual international festival put on by the Arctic Cycle, focusing on theater's commitment to a sustainable future. And we are proud to be part of these efforts this year. Tonight's performance was produced entirely by the volunteer efforts of those on and off stage, and we are incredibly thankful to the whole company for supporting this project. We would also like to thank Town Hall Art Center for partnering with us and making the event possible. And a special thanks to Denver Actors Fund, Green Team Academy, the International Climate Action Challenge, Colorado Theater Guild, and Women in Sustainability for helping promote the event, Suzanne Yo at the Denver Center for the New Center article she wrote, and my mom, Kathy Holdeman, for listening to my ups and downs. We are collecting donations on behalf of the Denver Actors Fund, so if you would like to make a contribution, please find one of our volunteers in the lobby after the performance is over. If you have a cell phone, of course, turn it off. Now, photography and recording are not allowed. The emergency exits are going to be located straight up the back there, back the way you came, or to the backstage area. Thank you all for coming to this event, and please enjoy A Future We Create.
I think you're gonna like. It's about a penguin and it has a happy ending.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, this penguin is waddling through the Antarctic, minding his own business, but also checking things out, you know, in the way penguins do. And he looks off into the distance and he sees this big, white, hulking something or other, which, you know, is weird. And the penguin's curious. Penguin naturally are, by the way. And he starts waddling towards this big white hulking something or other to figure out what it is exactly. As he's going, he hears a cry. Hey! Hey there! Now, the penguin really hopes he's not the one being spoken to because the voice is high-pitched and screechy. Annoying, you know? So he keeps going. Hey! Penguin! Well, poop. The penguin stops and looks around, but there's no one. Hey! This time, the penguin looks up and sees an albatross circling above. A girl albatross. What do you want? Says the penguin, and there is definite haughtiness in his voice. See, the penguin feels like albatrosses are always judging him because, you know, he's a bird that can't fly. Because he's a penguin. Anyway, the albatross looks down at the penguin, of course it does, and asks, "Where are you going?" To which the penguin quite reasonably replies, "That's my business, thank you," and keeps going. Hey, wait! The penguin looks back up at the albatross. "What now?" "I wanted to warn you," says the albatross. This makes the penguin frown. "Warn me about what?" "About the polar bear," says the albatross, looking in the direction of the big white hulking something or other. Now the penguin doesn't like this one bit, so he stops and ponders for a moment and says, "No, it can't be." "What do you mean?" squawks the albatross. "This is Antarctica," says the penguin, brimming with confidence of someone armed with a fact acquired from the top search result of a poorly phrased Google query. "And in Antarctica, there are no polar bears. They're only found in the Arctic." Now this shuts the albatross right up. For a second. "Oh, well, that may have been true in the past," says the albatross, "but I have a better vantage point, and I'm pretty sure that is a polar bear." Oh, the penguin scoffs because, let's be honest, I have a better vantage point than you flightless little dum-dum. Anyway, the albatross looks out down at the penguin. What do you think it is? The penguin squints at the big white hulking something or other. Oh, I know what that is. That is a giant scoop of vanilla ice cream, and the penguin is positively vibrating at the thought of all the calories he can acquire from said giant scoop of vanilla ice cream. And he keeps going, only now he has a little jump in his waddle. Hey, wait! This time, the penguin is truly annoyed. What? The albatross says, look, I'm only trying to help. Pretty sure that is a polar bear. But the penguin knows it's not, because it is clearly a giant scoop of vanilla ice cream. And he looks to the albatross and says, prove it. The albatross does an albatross shrug. I can't prove it beyond what I can see, but what I see is a polar bear. It is clear to the penguin that this argument is going nowhere, so he looks up at the albatross and says, why don't you go hang yourself around some poor sailor's neck? Ooh, that is a sick burn. The penguin knows how sensitive albatrosses are to hanging around people's necks. The albatross flies away. The penguin feels a momentary pang of guilt, but it goes away when he remembers all the calories that await him. He beelines straight ahead, his mouth watering with penguin drool, and he gets to the big white hulking something or other, and to his shock and surprise, it is not a giant scoop of vanilla ice cream. It is a polar bear. This makes the penguin frown because he doesn't want to admit that the albatross was right. However, his worry is short-lived because the polar bear grabs the penguin like it's a stray piece of popcorn chicken and chomps down. Nom, 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 nom. Now this is our happy ending. Because now, the penguin is spared the indignity of realizing how irrational it is to deny the existence of a polar bear in Antarctica while simultaneously believing in a giant scoop of vanilla ice cream on a glacier. The end.
Please recycle. Broadway's Green Alliance.
With the help of the Broadway Green Alliance.
My name is Billy Joe Armstrong, and I'm a proud supporter of Broadway Green Alliance.
I'm trying to save the earth one day at a time. Oh yeah, when I lay down these rhymes.
My name is Susan Sampliner, and I'm the co-chair and co-founder of the Broadway Green Alliance. My real-life job is I'm the company manager of Wicked. Our producer, who's David Stone, saw the film An Inconvenient Truth. And at that point, he thought, I have this huge show. I have a green main character. He challenged the 4 Wicked companies at the time to do whatever we could think of to be greener for 18 months. And then after that, we would get together and see if the rest of the industry wanted to help.
I'm Charlie Duell. I'm the co-chair of the Broadway Green Alliance. David Stone, who had himself seen Inconvenient Truth, together with Susan Sampliner, my co-chair, organized a town hall at the Gershwin Theater, which is where Wicked plays.
And at that town hall, we introduced what we had been doing for the 18 months and found out that a lot of other people in the industry had been doing things also but hadn't told anybody.
I'm Charlotte St. Martin, president of the Broadway League. We developed a program with the theater owners to make all of the marquees LED lighting. Simultaneous to that, the Wicked team was creating a greening seminar to talk about all of the things we could do. And when they learned what we were doing, we invited all of the membership to this seminar. And here we are today with Broadway Green Alliance.
My name is Mara Davi, and I am a Broadway actress currently in the play That Goes Wrong on Broadway, and I am the green captain for that production. On every production, there's someone in the show. It could be an actor, it could be a member of the crew, it could be a house manager, really whoever is passionate about it and wants to do it, they volunteer to be the green captain. I've set up a special space on the call board called the Green Corner, and we'll just list different tips and tricks on the board. Okay, so this is the very cute little recycling box for TerraCycle that we have backstage, and the cast has eagerly contributed their recycling. I'm going to sort it into all the bins. Personal care products, batteries, all the batteries. Also, toothbrushes. So hard to know what to do with, but Colgate is taking them back.
Groups that need binders for readings and other activities can come and get used binders, and afterwards they return those binders to the binder collection.
I love every year when we do our collection drives. There are people who can't wait for that thing and they show up because they've been waiting for it. And that's an impact that, I'm not sure we knew we could make at the very beginning.
The Broadway Green Alliance is successful because everyone is engaged in it. It is something that people feel passionate about, and they're proud of their involvement. And anytime you can get passion and pride involved in an initiative, you're going to have success.
She feels good about recycling. What do you got there? Spoon.
It was really the first industry initiative that I had seen since Broadway Cares, where all different aspects of the community came together, and it wasn't just the producers dictating to the employees what we were going to do. It was we're all in this together, we're all on the same planet, we all got to work together to save this.
Question, who's going to pay for this?
You'll pay for it.
What? Are you threatening me?
No.
You said, I'm going to pay for this.
Yes.
Well, that is usually a threat.
What?
You're going to pay for this is a famous threat.
But you asked me, who is going to pay for it?
That doesn't mean that you have to threaten me. It was a perfectly reasonable question.
I didn't threaten you, I answered you.
How?
You asked me, who was going to pay for it?
And?
I said you'll pay for it.
There you go. More intimidation.
Well, who do you think is going to pay for it?
Well, we can't afford this.
You can, especially.
Why would I do that?
Clean air, clean water, good care, good food, good home, safe job. It's all good, actually.
We can't just go inventing money for something like this.
You invent money all the time.
Well, yeah, for things that are valuable, like hot coal and fast gas and telephones and large houses and large trucks and big lawns and big oil and palm oil and big meat and concrete and things that people pay for. You pay for these things.
I think taking a deep breath, that is so clean, I think that is valuable.
Sorry, but unfortunately, the markets tend to disagree.
And a day, that is the right amount of hot. The air hugs you a little bit, but not too hot.
Unfortunately, the markets tend to disagree.
And being wet sometimes, but not all the time. And a doctor who is nice and also free.
Yes, those things are nice, but unfortunately...
And beautiful.
I'm not going to say it again.
We'll pay for it.
So you're threatening me again?
I said we'll pay for it.
So now you're threatening yourself?
Well, if we keep going on like this, we're threatening each other. In fact, if we throw away the words and look at deeds, you are threatening me so much more than I am threatening you.
Let me remind you, you said you're going to pay for this. A threat.
Look, all signs point to us paying for it, one way or another. Some of us more dearly than others. But I think it would be so nice if we paid for it by paying people to care and to keep caring.
Is this land yours? Is this land mine? The fault lines crack and the fists they fly. In the heat of night, I touch the fallen sky. It's a story as old as the flag in the yard. The money's too tight and the work's too hard. Baby, do you know just who your enemies are? And the world it sings and the world it burns. I feel the world shaking as it turns. I feel the world shaking as it turns. With the ash shut tight and the blood washed clear, the Capitol shines with its a poison gleam. Take the monuments fall to God's machine. And the world it sings and the world it burns. I feel the world shaking as it turns. I feel the world shaking as it turns. Judgment comes like a lightning strike, and the levees break, and the oceans rise, and that little black train, it could be here tonight. So don't talk about love if your love won't burn, if your love won't fight, if your love won't yearn. 'Cause the love don't win, and the waste my shine return. And the world it sings and the world it burns. I feel the world shaking as it turns. I feel the world. And the world it sings and the world it burns. I feel the world shaking as it turns. I feel the world shaking as it turns.
Hadithi, hadithi. When I say hadithi, hadithi, you say hadithi injo. Hadithi, hadithi, story come. Hadithi, hadithi, story come. Good. This is how we call for stories. As your storyteller, I need your help calling for the story. Will you help me? Hadithi, hadithi. As most stories do, this one starts a long, long, long time ago. But we will catch it on a December day in 2018. Kampala, Uganda. On that day, a 22-year-old young woman named Vanessa Nakate was feeling very, very, very hot. So hot that she... Vanessa Nakate was feeling very, very, very hot. The story is not coming. Hadithi, hadithi. Wait. The story will not come unless we listen to Vanessa.
I asked my uncle to tell me how hot it was 20 years earlier. He told me he thought it was much hotter now.
It was hot. The kind where you sweat from places you didn't even know you could sweat from. And it wasn't just the heat. Listen to what Vanessa had to say.
It's quite dangerous to walk when it has just finished raining. because you never know where you can fall in a ditch filled with water.
Vanessa was curious.
Climate change really caught my eye because in school, it has taught us something that we don't have to worry about, something that is coming in the far future. I decided to read more. That is how I found out about the Fridays for Future climate strikes.
Vanessa prepared her place card and stood outside the Ugandan parliament on strike by herself for hours.
Seeing millions of young people from different parts of the world doing these climate strikes was very inspiring for me because I knew I wasn't alone.
She went back the next Friday, and the next, and the next. By then, she was not standing by herself.
At first, I thought I was fighting to save a tree. Then I thought I was fighting to save a rainforest. Now I realize I'm fighting for humanity.
Hadithi, Hadithi. Then,
locust invasion in East Africa is threatening the availability of food. They have come after the torrential rains. How can we achieve zero hunger if climate change is leveling millions of people with nothing to eat? We are going to see disaster after disaster, challenge after challenge, suffering after suffering, if nothing is done about this.
Vanessa Nakati had something to say.
There was the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos, Switzerland. In January, where myself and other climate activists took the personal decision to sleep in tents as a statement to global leaders and governments. We wanted leaders to know that they have to make uncomfortable decisions, like giving up on the fossil fuel industry. The people and planet must come first.
Vanessa was one of 5 climate activists on the Davos stage speaking. But in the photo that came out after, there were only 4, all European, all white.
You didn't just erase a photo, you erased a continent.
But Vanessa refused to be silenced. Hadithi, Hadithi. Listen to Vanessa.
Historically, Africa has only contributed 3% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Countries in the global south are suffering the most as a result of climate change, but have contributed the least. And yet, money still pours in from abroad to fund the burning of fossil fuels in Africa. Breaking news: we cannot eat coal and drink oil.
Hadithi, Hadithi. Listen.
To truly understand this problem, we must listen to the voices of those suffering, both around the world and at home. Everyone must be involved in the process. We can all do something. We can rewrite the story.
Hadithi, Hadithi. You want to know how? Listen to Vanessa Nakati.
Young women are the light this world needs right now. Young women are the solution the world needs right now. There is power in our voices. There is power in our activism.
Listen to Vanessa Nakati.
Miss Lucy had a turtle. She named him Tiny Tim. She put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. Except, I don't get it. I mean, even an exclusively terrestrial turtle, if it had to,
Sammy, we have no emergencies around here. Besides, it's story time. Are you ready?
Well, how come you always get to choose?
Once upon a time, there was a magical kingdom where everyone was inordinately happy.
Objection.
Sammy is not polite to interrupt.
Well, can I say my objections first?
How many do you have?
Well, 3 so far.
Go on, but then we read.
Okay, first, magic doesn't exist, so this place you're talking about can't be true. And second, what's so magical about putting some random rich guy in charge and calling him king? And third, who the heck uses inordinately in a kid's book?
Are we done?
Yes.
Page 2. The reason this kingdom was magical is that most of the people who lived there had everything they wanted, or at least had the possibility of someday getting everything they wanted, which explains why all the people who mattered were happy very nearly all the time.
Bah!
What are you doing?
Well, I'm being a sheep because the people in the story, they're sheep, and because you were always and forever blind, were always and forever telling me not to blindly follow others.
Well, yes. That's because you're my grandchild, and I love you. But the fact is, when you're a grown-up, and you do grown-up things like taking psychotropic drugs and shopping for 3-pound bags of Idaho potatoes, you run out of time to research, to fact-check what's really going on in the world. And so you just pick a name, or pick a faction, or a party, and then you just go with it. Page 3. The happy people in the magical kingdom were kept distracted by all manner of fabulous entertainments.
No. Stop! This book, first, there's no plot, and second, it's trying to deny that we live in a dynamic world.
Honey, nobody sane wants to live in a dynamic world.
Okay, but you know Cousin Eddie, the one with the flower pond? All everybody thinks he ever does is cast for bluegill and spit nasty plugs of tobacco into his triple nasty Titan Tennessee solo cup. Do you know what he's really been doing all these years?
And to God, I have no idea.
Dreaming up a better mousetrap, which in this case means a brand new business model.
Are we talking about the same Cousin Eddie?
Well, when he's not reciting Wendell Berry or communing with nature, he's a seriously talented contractor. To explain, let me lay down some bars. Now, Eddie had a notion about the rising of the oceans. He took in all the facts and didn't listen to the rumors. If you listen to the rumors, that's a cancer, that's tumor. Now, he might say he's lazy, kind of crazy, kind of crazy. But he kept up with his fishing, making chains of endless species. And he dreams into action, make sure he has traction. Now I'm out of breath. Just breathe, and breathe, and go. So, Eddie called his buddy, so this idea is nutty, but it's also kind of funny. So they drove to the mall on a hot summer's day, and they sat in Eddie's car, no AC, no shade. He said, guys, what we're feeling is the future. This heat is like a suture. I'm a newborn climate booster. And there's money to be made with a pond or a glade, or planting trees for shade. And parking lots are trouble. This heat is like a bubble, and the souls turn it into rubble. And the heat sink is gone. Then our temps go down. And we still have parking lots all over town, but they can be smaller, an appropriate size, as we plan better cities, get smart, get wise, as our Green New Deal keeps our eyes on the prize.
Honey, you're not making any sense.
Well, the way it all works is a buyback plan, where Eddie does labor and the feds cut a check. It's kind of low tech. We the people get the perks. We the people stay cool, as Eddie puts to work what we should have learned in school. And that's a hop, skip, and a jump. Ta-da!
Child, the government doesn't pay people to tear up perfectly good parking lots.
The government has lots of buyback programs. Refrigerants for one, Freon.
But we need parking lots.
Grampy, even at the holidays, like Christmas, they're half empty.
You're getting a little too big for your 8-year-old britches.
No, but I'll tell you one thing this future voters done with. Stories where the world never changes.
But this book, it's been my favorite ever since I was a boy, younger than you.
Grampy, I love you, and I get that for your entire generation, this was the book. But at this point, now, today, I just helped Eddie get a meeting with our congressional rep. So things are happening now, right? You can either leave
It's your turn to pick.
This one. Once upon tomorrow, around the world and roll. It's hard to bend the future, but it's good to have a goal.
I am resilient, I trust the movement, negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I show up to the table again and again and again. Close my mouth and learn to listen. Oh, 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 oh. These times are poignant, the winds have shifted. It's all we can do to stay uplifted. Pipelines through backyards, wolves howling outside. Yeah, I got my crew, but truth is what I want. Realized and on point, power to the peaceful, prayers to the waters, women at the center, all vessels open to give and receive. Let's see the system brought down to its knees. Oh, 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 I'm made of thunder, I'm made of lightning, I'm made of dirt, yeah, made of the finer things. My father taught me that I'm a speck of dust and the world was made for me, so let's go and try our luck. I got my roots down, 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 down deep. I got my roots down, 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 down deep. I got my roots down, down, down deep. I got my roots down, down, down. So what are we doing here? What has been done? What are you gonna do about it when the world comes undone? My voice feels tiny, and I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make a mighty roar. I am resilient, I trust the movement, I negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I show up at the table again and again and again. I close my mouth and learn to listen.
Lines will appear on the screen.
Above the line is an indication of who should read those lines. Any person who fits the description can read the line from their seat.
Indications may look like this.
A confident person says this.
Or it may indicate that we read together.
This is a safe space. Don't be shy. Let the play begin.
Once upon a time, on a day much like today, in a place much like this one, a group of people, human beings, joined together to speak as one.
They spoke the same words at the same time, words they'd never read before, but they decided to read out loud and decided to tell a story.
I don't like this. I'd rather we spoke separately.
Why?
Well, it's always frustrating talking as a group, and some people aren't talking at all. I don't see why we can't just read in our own heads.
I think it's fun. It's so modern.
I hope it's not long.
I understand this sort of thing isn't for everyone, but it's short. It won't take long, and when we're done, we can go back to talking as individuals.
Okay.
I wonder what the story is.
One day, people decided to build a bridge to get from A to B. They set about it very carefully on a very hot day when the river was low and the sun was high and bold in the sky.
A group of people toiled in the sun, trying to figure out how the heck to get those stones to stay upright on top of each other, putting each other on the back whenever things went well, being very dramatic and angry when things didn't go well. And by the end of a few days, they had a bridge connecting A to
B. That's how bridges get made. So besides, they get something from A to B. And imagine the world where A is connected to B. And then a lot of people work very hard to make that happen.
The oldest bridge in the world still in use is from 850 BC. It is still standing in Izmir in Turkey. It is a stone bridge with a big arch in the hot sun.
"850 BC, I don't need to tell you clever people. When was Homer, the Greek poet, was alive, and he was from Izmir, so we can imagine Homer with his big beard because he was so old and wise, walking over this stone bridge on a really very hot day."
The people who built the bridge in Izmir were doing it for very practical reasons, A to B. There was no bit in their minds that said, in nearly 3,000 years, a person who owns a lot of books will tell a group of people about this.
Nobody thought that as they lugged the huge stones and did all the things that people do to build a bridge. Imagine if this bridge were here in 3,000 years. It would be really weird if someone had thought that or said that out loud. Everyone would have laughed and thought that was really weird.
Particularly Homer, because he had a great sense of humor and was always laughing at other people and cracking great jokes. Probably.
The people who built the bridge in Izmir.
years ago, they were trying to solve a crisis. They were trying to make things better, easier, get from A to B.
I crossed the bridge in Izmir once on a sunny day. I don't mean I crossed it in 850 BC. I'm not that. I crossed the bridge a few years ago on holiday. It was fine. The fridge magnet I got was not very nice.
A bridge is an imaginative object
We can all imagine bridges in our minds, and these bridges might never have existed, but their ability to be imagined is transformative. And what we know from the bridge at Izmir is that the bridges last a very long time. There are all sorts of boring practical disasters.
I need a haircut on the other side of the river.
I need to see my partner on the other side of the river. Perhaps the world is completely different on the other side of that river.
And those kinds of boring, practical desires to build bridges can lead us forward.
Imagine it is 2,870 years in the future, and a group of people meet as a group and agree that they need a new bridge. They will look at the bridges, the practical decisions we are taking right now, us in the past, them in the future, imagine what they might say.
Once upon a time, on a day much like today, in a place much like this one, a group of people, human beings, joined together to speak as one, to speak the same words at the same time, words they'd never read before. But as decided to read out loud, we come at the end of the line of 100 billion people, 10,000 generations of human beings, and all their collective work. And at the end of that line is us. And it is up to us whether there will be a bridge or not. All we have to do is imagine.
All right, I know I already talked, but I wrote this joke in my speech already, so I'm going to say it anyway. I may have had stress dreams about whether or not I can actually hold a microphone properly in front of you since I'm an audio technician. So I have a humble sound technician for her speech. And if I cry now or later, please don't worry, they are happy tears because I am so honored that you're here. Like, I cannot believe that you're here. So thank you for being here. The climate crisis every day, all day, every day. I think about every piece of plastic that I touch. It drives most of my decisions. I'm constantly frustrated that other things always seem to take priority. Anyone who knows me has listened to me talk about it for years, in my own life, but also theaters. I've been asking for theaters to switch to rechargeable batteries since the start of my Denver career, here at Town Hall, in fact. So when the pandemic hit and I had a chance to think about where I really wanted to put my energy, and I knew that the unemployment was going to last for a while, I applied to grad school. Rather than a thesis, this grad program involves a master plan, which you design yourself. They ask, what impact do you want to have on your community? And then you tie your classes and your projects back to that plan. So when I was asked that question, what I knew was that I wanted to influence change on a bigger scale. I wanted to make it easier for people to adopt environmentally friendly behaviors. And when it came time to determine my target audience, I was like, well, I only know theater people. So my advisors were like, okay, great, let's talk to theater people then. So I started typing things into Google like theater emissions and climate theater, which is how I found the Broadway Green Alliance and Climate Change Theater Action, which is the festival that this is part of. I attended one Green Quarantine webinar and I knew this is what I wanted to do. So my master plan in grad school is sustainable theater. This is how I choose to channel my climate anxiety. I talk to you, I share my passion with you, and I see the impact. I see the way that my passion for this topic changes the way you think about things. You think about your waste just a little bit more when you're done talking to me. And people always say that their actions don't matter because what can one person really do? What if I avoided this one cup? Like Starbucks is still producing millions of cups a day. But one person is never just one person. I am one person. And I somehow convinced Town Hall Art Center to donate their space to me. I got an Emmy award-winning composer to write me a song. I got all these amazing actors to give me their time and talent. I got technicians to give me their skills. I got you to show up. And I got Colorado Theater Guild to say, let's do the next thing together. And all I really did was talk about something that I care about. I want you to walk away from this show thinking, I can do something about this. I want to do something about this. I want you to see the work we do as theater makers, the work we do for social change, the way we inspire and move people in this show, and realize it is all connected. We have a unique power to influence people and create change, and that honestly is probably why a lot of us do what we do. That's why we do theater. So, this event is the beginning of a greener theater movement for Colorado. It's not a one-time event. I didn't ask you to come here and see a show about climate change and then go home. I needed you here so I could ask you to join me. Climate change theater action involves action. I'm starting a Colorado chapter of the Broadway Green Alliance, and I can't do it without you. I'm inviting you and every person in the Colorado theater community to join Colorado Theater Guild and I on February 28th for a town hall meeting to talk about what you want to see us do. I want to get together with you and have a conversation about what you want to see happening in our community, so that when I write a mission statement, I'm speaking for the community and not just myself as I get this chapter up and running. So thank you again for being here. We've got a few more performances for you tonight, and if at the end of the show you'll please take a moment to take the post-show survey. It is an important part of the grad school aspect of this project. Thank you very much, and I will see you at the end.
Is everyone here? Yes, yes, I can see you. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, baby girl, put that down. We'll get to our sweets in a second. Does everyone have what they need? Well, go on and get them. No, come on, I'll wait. Huh? Junior, we do this every year. Can anyone tell them? Anyone? No. Wait, come back. We celebrate Life Day on December 6th every year. Sweet potato, you even said it's your favorite holiday. Can you tell me why? Can anyone tell me why? No, it might be hard to believe. We didn't always have what we have. Don't roll your eyes, baby girl. Listen, there was a time where we heated our homes with natural gas and cooled our food and our bodies with hydrofluorocarbons. The fuel we used to get from A to B? Petroleum. Laugh if you want to. I was there. I saw it. I did it. Well, I couldn't help myself, Junior. It was back then. There was a time when even if you did everything you possibly could think, you used green cleaning products, you recycled your gray water, you were still giving your liquids in a single-use plastic container, and oil companies were given more tax breaks than teachers. And of course, there was convenience. What is to be done? I wrung my hands and ordered takeout. The world is set up for me to fail. 6 days out of the week I ordered from Amazon.com, and then on the 7th day, I called my college and asked them to divest from fossil fuels. This was good. Decidedly so. Because capitalism is motivating. And because through hard work and privilege, I had found a way to eke out some power. I had a college to call, stocks to divest, access to the articles that told me I should, and the power to choose. But your Amma had nothing but ritual. Yes, Amma that started Life Day. In her house, every dish washed was washed without waste. Every meal eaten was sacred. She watered her plants in the morning and composted her food waste in the evening, ate vegan and local and homegrown. And even though it wasn't convenient, it also didn't decrease the heat or lower the oceans or change the carbon count either. all that it did was change her. And it changed Amma totally. Which is why we still celebrate Life Day. Even now, even after aquaculture and the high-speed trains and 100% renewable energy and carbon captured, sequestered, in dead zones, repopulated, and green refrigeration and family planning. For all we celebrate, because without celebrating, we forget. We say the government should, and we go state. We say our children will, and we vote for war instead. Amma changed her life in order to put life in the center. And now we do too. So we always remember, okay? Now, Junior, and anyone else who needs to, go get something living, a plant, a cat. No, I'll wait. And now, hold that one. Gently, sweet potato, and go on and say thank you. Go on and say it. Thank you.
Thank you.
For reminding me that I am not the only species that matters. Thank you for helping me practice taking care. Now gather your reusable sponge or upcycled bag or vegan dinner. Hold it with love and appreciation and say thank you for helping me keep this fight centered in my mind and in my pocketbook. Now take your paper and write an intention. A new commitment you will take, no matter how small. No matter how many important articles say it too will be ineffective. It isn't for them, it's for you. A mark of your devotion, your conviction, your care. A centering so that when given a choice, you will remember not to hesitate. When given a vote, you will know what to do. Write it down. Read it again. Seal it in. That's right, baby girls. Finally time to eat something sweet. Savor this pleasure. Know your enjoyment. See? See, my beloved ones? This is what it means to be present to life.
Let's make this vow to inspire the actions of everyone we meet. We can be the change. It's not too late. Let's reverse this course. Save the planet for our children. We'll make a future we create.
This is the only home we have. We are nearing the tipping point. Searching for another planet is pure insanity.
I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. This is a fight for all humanity. To inspire the actions of everyone we meet. We can be the change. It's not too late. Let's reverse this course. Save the planet for our children. We'll make our future we create. Let's inspire the actions of everyone we meet. We can be the change, Let's reverse this course. Save the planet.